I've invested in dozens of different speculative crypto mining projects, and in this video I'm going to share exactly how I made $2,002 mining crypto in September of 2023. This is a monthly series where I track all my income from crypto mining and running crypto nodes, minus all my expenses such as electric expense and VPS hosting costs, so we can get an accurate picture of my net income for the month. The point of this video is not for me to brag about how much money I'm making each month, and let's be honest, it's not very much.
This is the worst.
I share all this data with you so that I can keep you up to date on the profitability of all the different crypto projects that I've covered on this channel. And stay tuned because later in this video, once again, I'm going to share my refreshed ROI or return on investment analysis so you know which miners are currently the best ones to buy. But also remember, this isn't financial advice. Let's start off by looking at the high-level numbers. Total revenue for September came in at $2,002. That is down $239 versus August. There's three main drivers for that decrease for the month. One, there's one less day in September versus August. Number two, Bitcoin mining difficulty once again increased for the month, generating a lower Bitcoin yield for me. And then number three, there was a reduction in my pre-search node rewards. As I had mentioned last month, the pre-search team had made a decision to lower rewards going forward, so we had a lower yield from my pre-search nodes for the month. Total expenses for September came in at $1,427. That is down $32 versus August. My main expenses currently are my hosting costs for my Bitcoin miners. That makes up a substantial portion of that total expenses. And then net income for the month came in at $575. That is down $207 versus the month of August. As you can see here, this is by far the worst month we've had in the 17 months that I've been tracking this information for you guys. But it is what it is. We're in a bear market. Not all hope is lost. Let's get into the review by project. Now to unblend the screen, all you'll have to do is hit that like button for me. I'll wait. There we go. Thanks. But kidding aside, it takes me quite a bit of time to put this information for you together each month. So I really do appreciate you hitting the like button. It's a free and easy way for you to support the channel. Number one project for the month are my two DIMO data miners, generating me just over $104. We saw about a 1% reduction in rewards week over week this month, which is less than I had seen in prior months when the DIMO token was increasing in price dramatically, and you were seeing a lot of people jump into this project. But this has been a very successful project for me. Pretty much because I got in very early. I think these miners have made me between $5,000 and $6,000 at this point. So it's been a huge win, and congratulations to everyone who has gotten into DIMO early. I still think there's a lot of potential for this project long-term as well. Coming in number two are my pre-search nodes. I have 287,000 pre-search tokens staked across 40 pre-search nodes. Now I did consolidate my nodes several months ago to reduce my VPS hosting costs. And also the pre-search team announced last month on August 18th that they were going to be reducing rewards going forward to make the project more sustainable. So I did see about a 30% reduction in the total amount of pre-search tokens that I earned this month. So that did hurt, as well as we saw a 17% decrease in the price of the pre-search token for this month. So really a big hit in terms of the profitability of these pre-search nodes. Coming to number three is my Hivemapper dashcam. I've only been using this for about 2.5 months, and I actually just ROI'd this month, so that is much quicker than I had originally calculated in my original Hivemapper review video that I had released shortly after getting it. I had estimated 3.6 months, so it's nice to see the quick ROI there. Coming at number four is my HiFix GeoNet Space Weather Station. I've been running this for just over a year now, and at this point I've earned just over 21,000 Geo tokens. Right now it's generating me about $53 per month. I just did an upgrade of this several months ago before they had their halving, so it increased the profitability of this as well. Coming at number five is my Bitcoin miners. I have 6 S19 Pro 110 terahash Bitcoin miners that I have hosted through BitCap hosting. I pay an 8 cent per kilowatt hour hosting rate, so that's the expenses involved with these Bitcoin miners. Unfortunately, we saw Bitcoin mining difficulty once again increase this month. That's been a trend we've seen over the past several months, as well over the past several years, making Bitcoin much more difficult to mine. So we're going to need to see Bitcoin's price start to appreciate substantially before we get to the Bitcoin halving. Otherwise, these miners are going to become unprofitable very quickly. Coming at number six are my FLUX nodes. This one has been quite disappointing for me the last several months. They're barely profitable at this point, and I have a large number of FLUX staked across these FLUX nodes. I do have these hosted through Goldie Tech nodes, so I pay $120 a month for hosting costs or for these FLUX nodes, but the yield on them has been quite abysmal as the price of the FLUX token has fallen substantially. Now, we didn't see the FLUX token fall anymore this month. It's kind of hovering near its bear market lows at this point. I did do a short last week about FLUX. They do have another snapshot claim that'll be effective on October 31st. So if you're interested in earning additional yield on your FLUX tokens, you just need to hold FLUX in your Zelcore wallet as of that date, and you'll be eligible to earn about a 4% yield, which will probably be released sometime in early 2024. My number 7 project is my STEPN NFT shoes. Like I mentioned last month I added 6 new NFT shoes, so bringing up my total to 16 shoes. So it makes me need to walk about 90 minutes per day to get my earnings, and right now I'm earning about $1.50 a day. I looked at my cumulative STEPN walking that I've done ever since I joined this project in June of last year, and I've just surpassed over 1,000 miles walked with STEPN. Now, I do actively sell my tokens every couple weeks. I convert them from GST into Solana just because I think Solana has a much more upside potential in the future. This project isn't a huge moneymaker for me, but I do enjoy walking each day. I get to walk with my kids and my wife, as well as it gives me some time to reflect on all the different poor crypto projects I've gotten involved in over the past couple years. Just kidding. At number 8, we have Crank. I have my 2 Matrix M2 Pros on Crank, which I converted several months ago. It made just $23 for the month. We did see quite the decrease in the price of the Crank token for the month, down 32%. Now, they did have their beta 2.0 last month, and I have 2 Bobcat Helium miners that I'm planning to convert over to Crank, but I'm waiting for them to finish the install guide. Now, the Crank team also did announce this month that they are delaying their go live until they finish some of their pending tasks, but I think that's a good decision at this point. That from what I've seen, the Crank team is very professional and they know what they're doing, and I think it's very important to get everything aligned and make sure you're in a good spot before you try to do a mass onboard. So I'm still excited for Crank and the prospects that we potentially have going forward. Number 9 is my Deeper Connect Mini. Nothing really going on here. Once again, we saw the price of the Deeper token continue to fall. I'm earning max rewards here at this point, but it is getting lower and lower each month. So at this point, we're making just under $15 for the month. Number 10 is my phone farm. I'm excited about this new project. I just started this last month, and I just did some upgrades a couple weeks ago, and I released a video last week detailing those upgrades. They were able to increase my yield as well as increase the profitability of my phone farm. So really not making a whole lot still at this point, just about $13 for the month, but I am excited for the potential of this phone farm in the long run. Next, we have my Fry miners, my Fry bandwidth and Fry decibel miner, each generating me about $9 for the month. The Fry tokens continue not performing very great, down 17% for the month, and I am actively selling my tokens every few days with my Fry miners. Coming at number 13 is my Metrics special position tracker. Now, last month they announced they were moving to a new token on Solana and announcing staking and an NFT available. I was able to find their decentralized exchange where I saw the new token being exchanged, and I saw the token price actually was much higher than it had been prior to the adjustment. Now, there wasn't a lot of volume on this exchange, so I don't know where the price will settle out in the long run, but it is hopeful that maybe we've got a more stable and profitable device here going forward. And coming at number 14 is my iPolo G1 Minis. I have 3 of these that mine Grin. I mine them solo. We had a pretty lucky month again this month. I was able to find 22 blocks solo mining. Now, these are at my home, so I've got my expenses at my home electric rate, so I'm generating $26 in electric each month, but the profitability of these mining is offsetting that electric, so we're making $8 for the month. Coming to number 15 is my streamer node. I have 20,000 data tokens staked on the streamer node, and I have this hosted on FLUX. I pay just under 6 FLUX per month to have this hosted through FLUX, and it's very easy to do each month. Not a big money maker, just making $7 for the month, but it's been a fun project so far. Coming in at 16 is my Fry satellite miner. Once again, I'm selling my Fry tokens every few days. Coming in at 17 and 18 are my helium miners. I have my Bobcat 500, which is the 5G miner, making really not very much at all anymore, just under $6 a month. And I have my 5 Bobcat miners across various locations, and each of those is making pennies a month at this point as well. So I think it might be safe to say that the Helium project may be on its last steps here, and we may need to throw these in the miner graveyard in the next couple of months if the profitability and the price performance of these tokens continues to fall. And number 19 is a new project. It's Fry's high-end weather miner. I just got this up and running a few days ago. It's very similar to WeatherXM's weather station, except this thing's actually profitable. I'm doing some initial testing, but I'm planning on releasing a video review on this device early next week. So if you're interested in this, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that video. Number 20 is going to be a new addition to the graveyard this month. That's Element Data. At this point, it's making, I think, about 8 cents per day. And I've been actually selling my tokens every few days, but at this point, the profitability has gotten so low that I'm not going to track it on this income analysis going forward. We'll throw it in the mining graveyard where all the other dead projects lie. Obviously, I'll still keep this device on, but I'm just not going to track it unless we see a substantial change or increase in the profitability going forward. But since there is no use case, I don't really see this project going back to the $34 it was making a day when we initially got into this project. The good thing is I've more than made my money back with Element Data, and hopefully you were able to get in early as well, and also made this a profitable use case for your Aware Element. Coming in at number 21 is my Gold Shell Star Coin box. We did see a big spike in the profitability of this device in the middle of the month, but then it fell back down for the month. But it's nice to see a couple of these Gold Shell devices at least coming back to being marginally profitable, although it's not very much for the month. Coming at number 22 is my Gold Shell library box. We did see a big spike in the library token this month, up almost 60%. So that caused an increase in the profitability, but then we saw an increase in the mining difficulty as people started to turn on their old library miners. So it was pretty much just a wash this month, but we did see a positive for this device for the month. So it's nice to at least see another Gold Shell miner back to profitable. Then next we have my Exa miner. Once again, I'm not really using much of the storage space. I have heard of a different option where I could switch this device over to a new project that's being much more profitable. I may do that over the next couple weeks. I'm still contemplating the potential risk there, but if I do make that decision, I'll be sure to release a video on that. And then next we have WeatherXM. They're still planning for a Q4 2023 release of their token, so I'll be on the lookout for that. I'll probably do a video once we see the release of that token and we see the actual profitability of this device. PiFi delayed their token release a couple months ago, and they're still to be determined in terms of when they're going to do a token release. Number 26 is a new project of the month. It's called Modus Mini. It's with SwordChain. I ordered this device several months ago, and it finally came in this month. I would consider this very similar to DIMO, where you plug it into your car and it captures different data from your car and you get rewarded. They still are on testnet, so there's no value for the tokens that you're earning, but at this point it's fun to speculate on these new projects. The good thing about this is this device is very cheap. I believe it's currently $80 on their website. I also have a referral link so I can get you 10% off your order. I'll put that in the description below if you're interested in joining this project. I like joining these projects early because there's potential where you can make potentially a lot of money getting into these projects, especially before a token has gone live. For instance, DIMO, where we got a big airdrop for everyone who came in early, and that made that project extremely profitable. So I'm hopeful that SwordChain will be a similar case for us. And finally, the last projects here, my mini Gold Shell miners and future Bit Apollo devices, really just spec mining at a slightly unprofitable rate for these devices. So if there's any other projects that you think should be on this list here that aren't, feel free to let me know in the comments below. I'm always interested in looking into new projects, potentially are profitable, and then I can bring you guys videos and analysis on them. Next, let's quickly go over the ROI or return on investment analysis I put together. We'll start off with the assumptions I'm making so we can level set. First, the miner fair market value estimates are based on recent comparable miner sales from eBay. These are not my purchase costs, unfortunately. In almost all cases, I paid way more than what you can currently pick these miners up for. Second, the current month net income is my actual mining results less my expenses. Your results may be different if you have different rates. Next is as of a point in time, October 1st, 2023. Miner values and income amounts will vary over time as mining difficulty changes over time. And then finally, this is not financial advice. Don't use this as justification to purchase a miner or a node. So I have these sorted from break-even days, from the lowest break-even days down to the highest. I'm not going to go over every project here because a lot of these projects are not worth your time in terms of getting into. I just want to give some high-level commentary over the top projects here. I also have a color coding system in terms of the ROI rank here, green being the top tier projects I would consider, yellow mid-grade, and then red projects I would stay away from. So as you can see here, Hive Mapper is currently #1 on my list. Based on my results this month, we're looking at a break-even days of just over 3 months. Now this is drive to earn, so it's location dependent. The more you drive, the more you can earn. So if you don't have a vehicle or if you don't drive very much, this may not be the project for you, and that's okay. #2 is the DIMO data miner. Now this one, doesn't matter how much you drive, you just need to drive once per week and you get full rewards. So if you're just a commuter who drives the same route every day or you don't drive very much at all, DIMO may be a better project for you. Steppin', you gotta walk a lot and it's not a big earner. I enjoy Steppin' just due to the exercise I can get from it, but it's not a big money maker at this point for Steppin'. I know initially this project was making tons of money. I remember hearing people making like $200 an hour for walking. Obviously, that's not the case anymore. The HiFX GeoNet station, the price of this GeoNet station is a little pricier compared to most miners out there when you're paying almost $700 for a dice, but the break even is still pretty reasonable, coming in at just over a year at this point, and it is pretty neat what they're doing in terms of collecting space weather. #5 metrics, once again, this one, the more you drive, the more you can earn. So if you're a big driver, you drive your vehicle a lot, metrics may be a good project for you to get into. Then we have the fry miners. The good thing about these fry miners is that they are very plug and play and very easy to set up. Once you have them set up, you just get your earnings every day into their wallet. The bad thing with these fry miners that I've seen recently announced by the team is they are going to be setting up some penalties in terms of selling your tokens, similar to what MatchX did in the past. So I think that is a potential negative for fry going forward, but they have not instituted that yet at this point that I'm aware. #9, Crank. At this point, their beta 2.0 is closed, but they are planning on, I believe, doing their public onboarding here in the next couple months. I'll keep you guys up to speed on Crank as that onboarding comes closer. And then finally, these last projects are kind of all red or yellow, so they're much more speculative and have not been very profitable for me in the last several months, so I would, at this point, probably stay away from a lot of those red projects. And then finally, if we go down here to the bottom, we've got the testnet and negative projects, which obviously don't have a break-even date at this point. So I'm not gonna try to hypothesize what the return on investment on those are gonna be at this point. So we'll just have to wait and see. So I'll put some discount codes I have for several of these miners in the description below if you're interested in picking any of them up. If not, that's okay too. If you learned anything from this video, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Bye.